So I really wish I could say I could honor this shirt today, but today is my off day, and we all know that Kelsey's off day really entails just more adulting that already an adult does not want to do, so we're gonna wear the shirt anyways. So hello everyone. First of all, I want to start off this video and say that I hope everyone had a happy 4th of July. Well, at least for those here in the US that celebrate America's birthday, Independence Day. We got back from my show last week. I went straight into a working week, but I was very blessed and thankful to have Wednesday, which was the 4th of July off, and Thursday, which was my automatic off day anyways of last week. So I got 2 days off in a row, which never happens, so that was really great. Spent it with some family and some friends. We had a really great time at the lake. It was really and truly the first lake day, like true lake day I've had all this summer, because I've been so busy with just everything in life and work that here we are in July and I haven't even been to the lake yet. So that's kind of sad, but that's the reality. Had a great little holiday, 4th of July, worked the rest of the week, and I worked the weekend, so I've been really busy, and I've managed to get kind of sick, so if I kind of sound a little nasally, that's why. Me and Cody both had like a sinus infection. Whatever, getting over that. So anyways, I just wanted to jump into this video because I know a lot of y'all have been waiting for it, and that is basically just my thoughts, kind of a recap, lessons learned, etc. on show day, on my first national show. So for those of you who have been following me along and you saw from my video and you saw from my Instagram post, obviously my first national show did not go as I had quite had imagined, but that's okay, and that's what we're gonna talk about. So you saw my videos throughout peak week, leading to a couple days out, to 1 day out, to show day. So I just kind of want to start off with actual show day. So woke up super early show day morning, which was actually Friday, June 29th, which was also Cody's birthday. Bless his heart. He had to spend his entire birthday during what seemed like the world's longest prejudging day ever. Prejudging took over 10 hours from 8 to past 6 p.m. He spent, he waited on me hand and foot, carrying around my luggage, helping me with my food, putting up with me with my smelly tan, me obsessing over food, etc. So let's give a round of applause to Cody Crowell for doing show day with me on his birthday, when I know he'd much rather have spent his birthday doing something more up his alley than spending a 10-hour prejudging show day with me, and much more. So anyways, I'm very blessed and thankful for his support and him being there with me, obviously, and enduring a miserable day on his birthday with me. So thank you so much, Cody. I love you. But anyways, woke up early on Friday morning. I tried to do some check-in photos with my coach, but it was still pretty much dark outside, and the hotel lighting was not the greatest, so I couldn't ever get like any good photos. So I never really truly checked in with my coach that morning. I did get up and go do a little bit of like 15 minutes of cardio, just kind of walked around. The athletes meeting started at 7 o'clock. I was able to go downstairs after I did my walk around, got a Starbucks, me and Cody some coffee, got him a little birthday breakfast from Starbucks, made my food, went down to the athletes meeting. Then I went straight to my tanning appointment, which was at 7:45 that morning. So as mentioned in my video, the tanning was running at least an hour and 15 minutes behind. So you can imagine the stress that kind of put on me and the other competitors. Also knowing that my makeup appointment was soon after my tanning appointment. Well, not soon originally, it was at 9:30, so my tanning appointment was at 7:45, my makeup was at 9:30, in hopes that obviously things would be running on time, but they weren't, so you can imagine that added stress that I was already an hour behind on tanning, and so that was kind of rolling over into my makeup time. And I was planning on, in between tanning and makeup, going downstairs to wash my hair, because I hadn't washed my hair yet and gotten it ready for show day yet. So obviously I wanted to have my hair ready before I went and got my makeup done. So there was just a whole lot of stressors going on with things being really behind. Also just the stressors of like not really knowing how show day is going in general, because obviously the show has already started. The show started at 8. Prejudging started at 8, but like bikini competitors and like the people who are going last are still waiting to get their tanning touch-ups, waiting to get their makeup and hair done. So there's a lot of stress with that already, kind of like, okay, well, when are we actually going to go on stage? Because obviously you want to be downstairs and ready, behind stage well before you actually go on stage. So everybody was kind of anticipating that, okay, well, this is probably going to go pretty fast, because obviously they stressed at the athletes meeting that hey, this show's gonna go really fast, like make sure you're prepared, make sure you're there on time. You know, if we call you up and you're not there, then you're just not going across on stage. So you have that added stress of you just don't know, so it's a lot of just hurry up and wait. That's all you're doing is like a bunch of hurry up and wait. And so all morning we're kind of like, when do you think we're gonna go on? And like everyone's stressing because we're so far behind already. So a lot of us are thinking that we would go on like at 12 or 1 o'clock. LOL. So a lot of us are stressing. So yeah, so I was kind of stressing with that. So that kind of played into the factor of a lot of just kind of the unknown and chaos that went on show day. And I just kind of thought that this is a national show, and I just kind of assumed that a national show would be really like well run and organized and just a lot better than like my like regional local shows that I've done. I have never experienced more of stress or an organization for a competition than Team Universe in my entire life. And again, I was just kind of shocked because this is a national show. This is basically like professional leagues going on. Like, you're not like, what? You should have your shiz together, guys. So once I finally got tan, I was able to go downstairs, wash my hair, got my makeup done. That was good. Went downstairs and just tried to find a spot. I did have a photo shoot with Morgan Carr Photography, which is this girl that I found on Instagram that I found through other fellow competitors that actually recommended her for national shows. And I had booked an appointment with her for to do a few shots before prejudging, and then also like the following day, kind of more of like a fitness lifestyle shoot on Saturday. But so I wanted to go ahead and get downstairs. I hadn't even really seen myself put together yet. Like, hadn't even really seen what my makeup looked like, because again, I got my makeup done by the show day people, which turned out okay, I think, which I still never even saw what I really looked like up close, which is so funny. But I went downstairs and met up with Morgan. Did a couple of shots for prejudging, so that went well. But I was mainly just worried about like, okay, I've got to get off my feet and I've got to time my meals just perfectly, because I had been on my feet running around like all day before and all that morning too, because I'm so bad about just sitting my butt down and being still and just relaxing. And because I'm definitely a person that my body is very prone to holding fluid or having fluid retention from a lot of specifically standing, but also just a lot of like walking around too. And so I knew that for my legs in particular, because I'm a thick lower half girl, that any type of fluid retention would just make me look that much more watery or thicker on stage. So I tried to really get myself to relax, but like, again, it was so much like a hurry up and wait, because it expedited for like, so-and-so is going on now. Oh, that means that we're going to go in like an hour or so. So there was so much stress going on backstage that like no one really knew when we were going on, and that we would pretty much hypothesize that we were going on at this time, but like we really still had like another 3 to 4 hours to wait. And it was just so much of hurry up and wait going on, and it was just really stressful in that matter that eventually kind of the nervousness of like actual show day started to go away, because it was just kind of like, okay, this has been a long freaking day and we're just ready to go and get this over with. And well past 12 o'clock, well past 1 p.m., well past 2 p.m., well past 3 p.m., and bikini is still nowhere near to going on. Granted that most of us have been waiting around backstage for a really long time. So I don't know, like my timing of meals and everything could have probably been better as well, just because it was so long. I only had a select few meals set before prejudging, so I actually ended up eating a couple more rice cakes than what was in my plan, because I had gone like hours without eating, and I was just scared that like, okay, well maybe I'm gonna show up flat on stage. But regardless, so bikini finally went on like around 4 o'clock, a little bit after 4 or so. So finally they're getting to the lineup of bikini, and here was the thing with like expediters. For some reason, they were calling like divisions and classes to hurry up and line up, even like almost an hour before they actually went on stage. So there was a lot of unnecessary lining up and standing on your feet that was being done backstage, and like all of us were just kind of like, why are you calling us up when we're not about to go on? And I get it. They were wanting to be like prepared and making sure that like everyone was there, that they were calling out their numbers and their names. But it was just a lot of unnecessary just standing around. I know that just kind of contributed to a lot of like the stressors already like on my body that day that was going on. But finally, once bikini was ready to go, I hadn't even really like practiced any of my posing backstage either. Just because again, I was like, well, I don't want to be on my feet too long, and I don't want to be like posing unnecessarily too much to like make myself sore, just to wear myself out. And I was just, my goal was to get off my feet and my legs. But eventually bikini got called up, bikini class A, which I was open bikini class A. We went on stage. What they did first was they just called you out numerically in order, and you kind of went in groups of like 10, I'm not really sure how many, of comparisons. So you did like first round comparisons first, where you literally just went up there and did a front pose. They told you to turn around and do 180 towards the back, and then another front pose, and then they, you know, sent you off to the side. And then you came back around, and then that's when they called you by your number and your name, and you did your individual pose, and then stood off to the side. So we went through for comparisons, and that felt cool. It was kind of nice in a way because it's not like the spotlight's not so much on you, and so you're kind of sharing that stress, that anxiety, that adrenaline up there with other people too. So you kind of feel like not alone, so to speak, or like not so singled out. I don't know how to explain it. Like I kind of like the idea of going out there with comparisons with other people first. So like your nerves are like a little bit less, I feel like. Honestly, at that point, like most of us were just so tired that we were just kind of like, let's just get this over with. Like, come on now. So we went out there and did comparisons, went behind stage, lined up again to do our individual routines. So went out there. When it came time to do my individual routine, so I was actually the first person to walk out on stage for individual routine. So that means right before me, that was the last group of girls for comparisons. So literally one of my worst fears happened to me on show day was when it was my time to go on the stage, the judges weren't even looking up at me. When I first walked out there, literally the main head judges still had their heads down, so were still taking notes, I guess, from the comparisons before me. And they weren't even looking at me. So I was literally walking out. I was freaking making eye contact with them the most that I could, like I usually do, and just like fighting for their attention, and they weren't even looking up at me. I could see on the periphery that some of the side judges, like the rest of the judging panel, was looking at me. But like the two main like head judges in the middle, they weren't even looking up at me. And I remember thinking like, oh my gosh, like they're not even seeing like my best. Like I feel like they're not even truly going to be able to judge and see my best. And I did catch a glimpse of them look up as I was doing my transition to my back pose. And then when I came around to the front, they were looking at me. But after that, it was kind of like, did they really even like fairly judge me, like completely? That was kind of my initial thought. And I'm thinking like, am I just gonna kind of be like overlooked or kind of brushed to the side? I don't know. So anyways, went to the side of the lineup. Everyone did their individual routine. Then it was time for first call outs. So I kind of already went into this show knowing that I definitely could have been a lot leaner. I could have brought some much better conditioning. However, I was happy with the overall physique and shape that I did bring. For me personally, it was my personal best up to that date. However, when first call-outs came about, I kind of already knew in my head that I wasn't expecting first call-outs at this point. After seeing the caliber of competitors around me and the bikini competitors, like I knew that my conditioning could have been a hell of a lot better. I went into the show kind of up and down, like, okay, I feel really great. Like, I could do really good. I could get top call-outs. To like, I could be a lot leaner. But you really, truly just don't know until you get there to the show. It was time for first call-outs. And they called out the numbers. And usually when they do call-outs, they'll call in order, like the numbers in order of who they want. So the first number I think that got called out was like 358, and I was number 353. So I knew right there that my number wasn't getting called out most likely. So they called out like the first like top 5 to 6 people, or top 10 or something like that, and my number wasn't called. So I was like, okay, well, all right, I'm not getting first call-outs. I kind of already like accepted that in my heart, and I was kind of like already at peace with that. I was like, all right, no top call-outs for me, that's fine. Let's see about second call-outs. They do second call-outs, still my number did not get called. And I was like, okay, all right, that's all right. It's my first national show. I know I probably could have brought a better package. Okay, that's all right. Third call-outs, we got this. So they do third call-outs, number still didn't get called. And at this point, it was kind of like a stinger because I knew that at that point, I was pretty much getting last call-outs. Yes, it stung a little bit, but also at the same time, I was kind of laughing internally because I was like, wow. I am a top competitor usually, and I'm getting last call-outs. And so at this point, I was kind of like, whatever, like, it is what it is. And so I eventually get some call-outs, basically last call-outs, which was a little disheartening. But again, at that point, I had like already accepted it, and I was like, you know what? I made it here. I am nationally qualified. I am a top competitor. I know I can compete better than this, and that's okay. This was a lot of lessons learned that day. Could I have been much leaner? Absolutely. Could I brought a better like conditioning package? Absolutely. Did I get overlooked? Possibly, but overall, like that's not the reason, that's not truly the reason why I placed the way I did. Do I think I could have placed better in call-outs? Yeah, I'll be honest, like, I think so. The good news is though, for my last call-outs, I did keep the center the whole time, so when they were moving people around me, apparently they liked me enough to keep me in the center, whatever that means for keeping the center stage for last call-outs. But either way, I knew once I got to the show that once I seen the competitors and stuff around me, the level of conditioning that I needed, that was confirmed and solidified in me that I needed to bring for a national show, just was not there. And the level, the caliber of competitors that are there is insane. And it's so crazy to think because in my life, in my everyday real life, like here in my normal life, I'm lean. I'm a lean individual. And other people say that too. And so people all around you think that like, oh wow, you're so like, you are lean, and you know, you have people tell you that like, oh, you look good, you look so good, like you look so lean, blah, blah, blah. And like you see yourself compared to like your body's like normal state. Yeah, I'm a pretty freaking lean individual here in my everyday life. But on a national stage, I looked like one of the thicker ones. She's really dense with some muscle. I got a lot of muscle, but I also have a very healthy layer of fat that my body likes to hold on to. But so on stage, I looked really thick. I definitely brought the best like overall shape that I've ever brought to stage that day. However, I felt like it wasn't my best showcase of my physique, if that makes sense. Like, I didn't showcase it to the ability that I could have, at least. Like, I feel like by the time I made it to stage, I looked really, not bloated necessarily, but just kind of like, just thick and watery. Like, a lot of my lines and definitions weren't really coming out like they had in like some of my check-in photos. And I was telling Cody that I actually felt like Tuesday of my peak week was the best day that I looked. That was when cardio got lowered a little bit and my carbs got increased a little bit. I think it was just a good sweet spot of like a little bit of a bump in carbs and a little bit of decrease in cardio. That Tuesday felt like my best look. So I don't know, but regardless of that, I just felt like I didn't showcase my overall physique and my overall package to the best that I could have on that day. So eventually prejudging got done. Finals we were supposed to be back for an athletes meeting at 5 p.m. Prejudging didn't get over till after 6 p.m. And so what they did is they took like a 10-minute break intermission and they went straight into finals to do like finals and awards. So after a long and grueling prejudging, over 10-hour prejudging day, we had a little bit of a break and we went into finals. And honestly, between prejudging and finals, since I knew we had pretty much a really long time, I was able to sit down and watch a lot of the show. I was able to get off my feet. I actually had a Starbucks little snack, like a sandwich and an actual full-on Starbucks drink, like not a healthy version, in between prejudging and finals. And I actually looked better for finals than I did for prejudging. And I think that was because I was able to get off my feet, off my legs, and I don't know, I had like a little, I don't know if like having a Starbucks or a snack in between helped or not, but I think the main thing that helped was getting off my feet. And I was more vascular. I wasn't as, I didn't look like I was holding as much fluid for finals. Like, I just felt tighter and I felt like I looked better and actually presented better during finals, which was so funny because at that point, like obviously I hadn't placed and it like was no point. And for finals, all we did was walk across the stage and just kind of do a sign-off wave. I was so happy that I did finally make it to a national show because as long as I've been competing, I've always been nationally qualified. I've just never taken that extra step, that extra challenge and push to actually go to a national stage. And I was so happy that and grateful that I am considered a top competitor to make it to a national stage, and I was just very blessed just to have the opportunity to grace that national stage. So I was really happy with what I had done to accomplish that, and you know, a lot of hard work went into me getting there, and I was just really happy to have at least had that experience. And honestly, my favorite day of the entire show day, just meet all the different competitors and people, being surrounded by people in the same like community and industry that share the same drive and passion as I do, because I don't get that a whole lot like where I live. I've never had a group of friends that like working out or enjoy, you know, this hobby, this passion that I do. So I've never had any friend that liked to go work out with me, you know, or just they don't understand this sport. They don't understand this passion that I do have. And it's just so, I love going to competitions for that reason, because I'm surrounded by like-minded people who share this passion with me. And I loved meeting all kinds of new people. I met a bunch of different subscribers that are subscribed to me or that follow me on Instagram. I was fangirling so hard because I met a lot of fellow YouTubers and Instagram people that I personally follow, that I've been following forever, and that I got to meet. And it was so, like, that was my favorite part of show day, honestly. And I really did have a really great time. It was so much fun in general, besides the long, grueling, waiting around process of prejudging. Overall, like, I really enjoyed show day. It was definitely a lot of lessons learned. It was a great experience just to really have a true understanding of what it is that I need to truly do and work on to bring my best package to the national stage. And, you know, the thing is with this show too, and now, like, I can't like back this up 100%, but from what a lot of people said, that this was like the largest national show to date, or at least the largest Team Universe national show to date. It was a really large show, and that was part of the reason why prejudging went so long. I mean, there was just alone 300 bikini competitors. I think there was like 600 or 900 female competitors or something stupid like that. Like, that's insane. And I feel so honored and blessed to be amongst all those freaking awesome women like that. Like, 300 bikini competitors, come on now. And my class, bikini class A, was the second largest class of the open bikini division. I think class C was the largest with like 42 or 45 girls, and my class had 38 girls just alone in class A, which that's incredible. And I'm talking about, when I say every single girl looks phenomenal, they look phenomenal. And that's the thing though, is like, you cannot control who shows up that day on show day. You have absolutely no control of what that judging panel is looking for. Who knows? I still went into this show, like, I tried to go into this show without having like expectations necessarily. Like, I didn't have expectations of like, oh, I'm gonna go in here and win first place and get my pro card. No, I tried to just block that out of my mind. You know, you just never know that by chance, what your package that you bring to show day just might be exactly what those judges are looking for. But that's the thing in this sport though, it is so subjective. You have absolutely no control of what the head judges are looking for or what the overall judging panel is looking for. And you have absolutely no control of who shows up on show day. You know, you might be bringing the best package to date for yourself, but compared to the other competitors that show up that day, they may be more muscular, they may be more leaner, they may have just overall better stage appearance than you, and you're not gonna get a top call out because they earned it. And I'm not discrediting the people who got top 10 or, you know, even top 5 or even first place. Like, amazing, like, all props to them. They deserved it, but so many more girls deserved it as well. And I can say, even from what other competitors and other coaches, and even my coach even said, that there were a lot of girls that did get overlooked. I can say that. There was a lot of girls that I felt like deserved top call-outs, and they did not get top call-outs. And there were some girls who did get top call-outs who may or may not have, I don't want to say deserved top call-outs, but I feel like for what they were looking for, I know personally that I did not deserve top callouts compared to the other girls who did get top callouts, and I'm completely okay with that. I'm at peace with that. I know what I need to work on now, and that's exactly what we're gonna do. So again, it was a great learning experience, just a great experience in general to have under my belt, and I'm super excited to see what we can accomplish next. And yeah, so I think that was kind of mainly all I want to talk about, a recap. It was a lot of rambling on. Hopefully some of you found this a little bit helpful, just kind of give an insight of how show day actually is on a national stage. But I'm really looking forward to my next plans. I already had USA's planned, so USA's is actually in Las Vegas. So that is at the end of July, which is actually for my birthday instead. So we did one for Cody's birthday, now we're about to do one for my birthday. I heard that compared to Universe, that from what a lot of people were saying, a lot of seasoned and veteran competitors and coaches, that NPC Universe was just a poorly ran national show. They just really did not appreciate, you know, this national show being ran the way it was, and that national shows like USA's are well ran, and that we're looking forward to competing at that show. Should go a lot smoother, a lot faster than Universe, but that's the plan. Is we're planning on just really refining and bringing the best package to USA's, a much tighter and leaner package. I think that will make some definite improvements already within a week. I've already seen some great changes and we're on the right path. Got a couple more weeks to bring my best, but that's the plan right now, is going for USA's. And I just want to apologize for just not really filming a whole lot in general from the weekend. Like I said in my video, like we were just so tired and so hungry, and it was such a long day that I just didn't even feel like getting my camera. All I wanted to do was like spend the rest of the evening with Cody because it was his birthday. We just wanted to go out and have a nice dinner, and then the next day we explored New York City for the first time. We had a blast, so that was kind of like a redeemable day for his birthday. We spent all day Saturday in New York City, which was so crazy. Like, I never thought I would visit New York City in my entire life, and we just had a blast all day. Like, my feet were so swollen by the end of the day by all the walking around that we did. It was insane, but I was glad that we got to enjoy his birthday by doing something fun, you know, sightseeing, exploring, eating and drinking, you know, good food and drinks, and it was just so much fun. We really did have a blast, and I just didn't want to worry about carrying my camera around or like trying to worry about vlogging or this, that, and that. I didn't even Instagram story a whole lot that day just because I was just enjoying the moment, and sometimes I think that's just more important, you know, just living life besides posting on social media. Regardless, we had a great time. It was a great experience, and we're ready to do it all again for Las Vegas. So that's all I wanted to say. This has been a super long video as always because I can talk and ramble all day, but I'm gonna get ready to now go to the gym because I've got to do a lot of adulting things today. And I just want to say thank you so much for all your support, all your love. I really and truly love hearing from each and one of y'all, whether it's through YouTube, Instagram, or even in person, like the people that I meet, hearing your stories, hearing how I have made just even the smallest impact in someone's life, and just all the love and support that I get from y'all, because like I said, I don't really get that a whole lot from like my friends and family just because they just don't understand my love and passion for this sport, and I truly appreciate each and every one of y'all. So with that being said, I just want to say thank you so much for watching, and I will see y'all in the next video. Bye, y'all.